Hi everyone, I had to come out to do this today because it has to do with um, vehicles and individuals. Okay, today or some days back, I was driving past a particular road, and a little child, just let me say a student, just ran across the road. And thank God I was not on top speed. Thank God I was not on top speed, so I was able to stop. But at the same time, there were some passers-by that saw what happened, and they quickly reprimanded the girl that why will you just jump on the road like that without looking? That even if it has happened now, at the end of the day, they will say this woman is at fault because you are a child. But majority of times, these things happen. A lot of children go to school without the supervision of their parents or their guidance, and they just cross the road anyhow they want, and they are not even crossing on the pedestrian points where there are signs for children to cross. Please, as much as possible, parents should take this very seriously. If you know your kids are to go to school or go out without your supervision or the supervision of a guardian, please ensure you educate them on when to cross the road. They must look very well before they cross the road. Somebody was saying that majority of times you try to drive carefully, and people just either they come and batch your car when you least expect, or they just cross the road. One thing or the other, accident happens. That's number one. Then number two, please, before you get into any kind of journey, especially if it's a long journey, you should check you should check your car and ensure that the tires are in place. A lot of people inflate their tires more than the level it should. They don't even know. They don't even know that each tire has its maximum air it can take, and they just inflate it anyhow. At the end of the day, when it starts running, especially during the day where everywhere is hot, the weather is very hot, the road is very hot, the tires can even burst and cause serious accidents. At the end of the day, you start blaming your village people for what you caused by yourself. We have to take these things very, very, very seriously. Okay, imagine if that child that crossed the road while I was driving, imagine if I was on top speed, accident would have taken place. And at the end of the day, they will apprehend the person that drove that car and caused that accident. They will not even want to know what happened, why it happened. They will not want to know, because they feel, oh, you that is driving, why didn't you watch? You see different people come from different places just to mount and start talking all manner of things on the driver, because they feel, oh, why should you not look? Because accident takes place, but it's a two-way thing. It's a two-way thing. The person that is crossing the road, or whatever is on the at the front of the vehicle, or the vehicle itself not being in proper condition, or the attitude of the person driving. So everybody you need to do your own checks. You check your car, the roads. The government have to play their own role, ensure that there are proper roads. Then the people that are also crossing the pedestrian whatever, they should also check. Thank God that the government have really done a beautiful work in so many highways where we have pedestrian bridges. But majority of times, a lot of people still ignore the pedestrian bridges, and they want to still run on the major road. The other day I was coming back, I saw a very handsome guy just dead on the road, and there was a pedestrian bridge, but the guy chose to cross the road without going through the pedestrian bridge. Then who is to blame? Who is to blame? Is it that you don't love your life? Is it that you don't love your life? Who is to blame? Now that life is gone. The body is useless. The soul is gone. The spirit is gone. There's no more life. Then now you now create pains for your loved ones, losing you at a tender age because of your own carelessness. That is that. Then also, you know you are going on a long trip, You did not even check your oil. You did not even check your oil level. You didn't check your tires. You didn't check your in short, a lot of people, what they do, especially the women. Please, women, I'm a woman. I do it. But I've decided to change. A lot of women just enter into their car. They don't even know if there is enough oil. They don't even know if there is enough water. They just enter. It's very few women that really check. So many people are having overheating on a major road, and they don't, and because of their carelessness of not being able to check, they don't check. A lot of women are victims of what I'm saying. They don't check. They just zoom off. Except their husbands or the men in the house come to check. They don't even check. They just zoom off. And when an accident takes place, you leave your loved ones in pains. When there's overheating and your car explodes, you leave your loved ones in pain. Please, as much as possible, let's try to do our own part and let God take charge, because there are things we have to do for ourselves. There are things we have to do for ourselves. The angels will only fight the battles that you are not aware of. But those battles you are aware of, you have to ensure you fight them and win them, because it's a fight of faith. It's a fight of faith. Those physical battles, you know, things that you can avoid, you know, you should do this, do that to avoid them, and you purposely ignore them. You are putting your own life at risk. You know that you are cooking and the gas is on, and you just go about receiving calls, and when there's an explosion, you start blaming your village people that they are the one that caused it. Why? Why should we get to this extent before we realize that our life is very important for our children, for our loved ones, for our husbands, for our wives, for our families and friends? There's nobody in this life that is not loved. As much as possible, love yourself. Love yourself and protect your life. It's very key. Then also, I'm here to speak to a lot of women. Majority of times, your children are running temperature, and you start saying the child is teething, and you forget that you should take the child to the hospital for checkup. A lot of times, we've lost a lot of children to that mindset. Oh, if the child is teething, it will get better. He's teething. I met a woman recently. Anytime the child eats, the child throws up almost immediately. Serious vomiting the food with so much energy. The child was losing energy, and I'm asking this woman, what have you given to the child? She said she has missed some things for the child to drink. I said the healthcare is free. Go to the health center, and the health center, the government has established a health center in different places, and they have made it easy. You don't need to go to the general hospital before you can access the health center. So go to the health center and take this child for a proper checkup. Before the woman went, I had to follow up again and went back, and I asked this woman, have you done what I asked you to do? Did you go to the health center? And she now said, yes, I went, and they've administered some drugs. Everything they administered is about so amount. I was able to assist the woman with at least half of the money, but at least she was able to take that step. I told her, okay, take just to assist you. I may not necessarily have to say it, but what I'm trying to say is that the most important thing is take the first step. Take the first step. Take the bold step to do what you know is right, and you will see how people will come in to either assist you or make that thing a reality. Then I'm also here to speak to students. I met a student recently. Everything I'm here to talk about is you taking your bold step to do the right thing and let God come in. I met a student recently who has finished her secondary school. She actually made my children's hair, and she was very good. And I told her, won't you love to go to the university? She said, I would love to, but I've given up because I don't have the money to pay for my fees, and whatever I'm doing will not be enough. I had to encourage her. I said, you don't need to give up. I told her, you don't need to give up, that you should at least get the JAMB form. Okay, she said she has done the JAMB, she has done the National Open University, whatever, and she just didn't want to complete it. She just stopped. I told her, I said, do you know that from this little hair you are making, do you know you can be saving some money? And even when you gain admission into this university, you can be making this job. You have a good handwork. You can be doing it, and you assist yourself in the school. Take for example, when I was entering into the university, I didn't have anybody standing in and say, okay, this is the person that is wealthy enough to take care of my education. But I did my JAMB, I did everything. And when it was time for me to gain admission, God sent an angel who paid my fees. And that is my uncle. He paid my fees for my entrance fee. Dr. Obi, he paid my fees, and I'm very grateful. Dr. FOOB, I am very grateful, Dr. FOB. I'm very grateful. My great uncle, I'm thanking you today, and I've always been grateful. But I want to thank you for God for listening, and God used it to help me. The same way you out there, God can send an angel to you to help you. But you have to take the bold step. Don't sit down and give up and think that, oh, there's no one to help me. Don't be like the one that they will be pushing to step into the water, because you feel, oh, everybody is pushing and pushing, no, and nobody is attending. Nobody needs to. No, there's nobody that can motivate you as much as you yourself. You have to first have that motivation from your inner man, and people cannot come in to help. So please, I've told the lady, go and get the form. How much you need to get the form? I'm going to follow her up. I'm going to ensure she gets the form. Then she has to read, and let her at least get the admission. Then from there we can take it up. Thank you for listening. I hope you've learned something today. Please don't give up on your dreams. Take the bold step. Start something. And when you start something, the Spirit of God will step in, and you will see the seriousness that you are ready to achieve. When you are ready to achieve, there is always a push, and you will be able to achieve it. God will always send his angels to assist, to help you. He's your helper in times of need. Don't forget that. And that's the Holy Spirit, your greatest helper, your greatest companion. Thank you for listening. I'm glad you stayed till this time. God bless you.